We are back in today 2025 NFL Fantasy Football mock draft. I believe this mock draft is going to be 4 or 5 rounds, and the important thing is that it's a half-point PPR league. Each team, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 flex. So while this might not, account for all leagues, I'm going to break it down as if it's every single league, and I'm going to talk about, what the rankings are going to be for next year, because that's all anyone cares about. Who is going to be taken in the first round, second round, third round? What can you expect for your next season's fantasy football league? It's never too early to plan, man. Never too early to plan, especially for those going through withdrawals. Smash like and subscribe button. I really want to do more fantasy football content. I'm a beast at fantasy football, and I want to share the love. So right here, this mock draft is saying that the first overall pick is Jamar Chase. Now, like it says, Chase is on pace to lead the league in receptions, yardage, and touchdown catches, blah, blah. T. Higgins is most likely going to peace out in free agency and become a New England Patriot. Now, that's a bold take right there. Who knows where he's going, right? But with that said, I've seen a couple different fantasy mock drafts, and the big names being thrown around for the top 3 picks are these 3 guys: Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, and Bijan Robinson. Now, depending on your league and your format, it'll really kind of make or break what order these guys go for. If you're in a full point PPR league, I think more likely than not, you're going to see Jamar Chase go number 1 and Saquon Barkley go number 2. Kind of similar to what this draft is doing right here, which is half point PPR. If you're in 0 point PPR, then you might see Saquon Barkley get pushed up a little bit, Jamar Chase down a little bit. But for all intents and purposes, I like this order. Jamar Chase 1, Saquon 2, Bijan 3. Now, Bijan Robinson being number 3, he did kind of have his breakout season. Now, it does kind of concern me. The Atlanta Falcons are on my no-bet list. Oh, man, there's so many reasons why if you're new to the channel. But, Bijan Robinson, he had a very, very good fantasy football season. It just seems like it's a bit concerning. Now, especially with Tyler Algier, surely the coach is going to finally let Bijan eat like he was doing this season. They're not just going to kind of revert back to their dual committee approach like they did, early on in the season, it seemed like. So I like this top 3 order. If I go with Bijan number 3, though, I'm going to be scared. That's just me. Number 4, they have Jay Jettis. Now, Jefferson had a very, very good season, underrated. Now, the only concern here is who's the Vikings quarterback? It doesn't really matter. He's basically proven he's quarterback proof. So I like Justin Jefferson going this high. CeeDee Lamb number 5. I mean, he is a wide receiver 5 overall, even without Dak Prescott being there for half the season. Now, you can expect Dak Prescott to be back and fully healthy next season. The Cowboys potentially land Ashton Jenney in the NFL, draft coming here in April. So that could boost the amount of points that CeeDee Lamb is scoring, because they'll be having more red zone drives, you would assume. The Cowboys defense did not play good at all, and that actually helps CeeDee Lamb because then they have to air it out. So CeeDee Lamb, he is a top 5 type candidate pick. Puka Nacua, number 6. Puka Nacua could debatably be ahead of Jefferson, ahead of Bijan, ahead of CeeDee Lamb, if not for one thing. Buddy might be the most injury-prone player I've ever seen in my life. Sprained MCL, the stuff that happened in his first or second season. I mean, he's been banged up. He's a guy that gets banged up, and he might not be as reliable as you think. It's only his second season in the NFL. He'll be heading into his third. He could honestly have a big step up as Cooper Kupp gets older and older, because Cooper Kupp has become a bit more irrelevant. But Puka Nacua is trending as number 6 overall. Then we have Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, with David Montgomery coming back on an extension, it does hinder Jahmyr Gibbs' opportunities. So Jahmyr Gibbs at number 7, being in a timeshare where we know DeMont is going to be getting all of these touchdowns, it's tough. But Jahmyr Gibbs has been popping off. He just had 4 touchdowns this last week as I'm recording this. So, Jahmyr Gibbs at number 7 does make sense, but that would put him as a 3rd running back off of the board. Let's see how the rest of the running back class goes. Now, Brock Bowers, number 8. Now, like this says, we all remember when Travis Kelce was a first-round pick. George Kittle was first or second-round pick. Those guys are old. It's a new era, and Brock Bowers going number 8 is kind of wild. Now, I don't know about this. Brock Bowers, number 8, going tight end, it will give you a positional advantage. That's definitely good. You're definitely going to have to make this up, though, later on in the draft, picking heavy on wide receiver, picking heavy on running back. Can you make it up at running back is going to be the question right here. You're going to have to hit on one of those sleeper-type running backs if you pick Brock Bowers early. But if the Raiders pick a quarterback, man, Brock Bowers' stock might even go higher. I like Brock. This is a huge surprise to me, Brock Bowers being round 1, but I understand it. Derrick Henry's number 9. Now, age definitely is a concern here. Derrick Henry, number 9. If I pick Derrick Henry, I'm going to be a bit concerned, but this is definitely the range he's going to start going in 2025. Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 10. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, essentially, I feel like we're getting a discount here. Now, it is a bit annoying, a bit concerning that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be, not necessarily getting the same target share we're used to, but he had like a touchdown every single week for like 6 weeks of the season in a row. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, while he's touchdown dependent this season, and that kind of made his fantasy appeal higher, eventually he could potentially gain that target share back. He's one injury away, and the Lions, we all know they're going to be a solid team in the red zone. So Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 10, I'd be very comfortable with that. Look at this guy to be somebody drafted heavily later on in your draft, and I suggest you take Nico Collins at number 11. This is a guy where I was seeing mock drafts with Nico Collins going top 5, top 6. So at number 11, this seems like a steal, especially with how good him and C.J. Stroud have been. Yes, there's some injury concerns. Tank Dell likely out for most of 2025. He will be the number 1 wide receiver 1. Stephon Diggs is a free agent. His target share will be very large, as this says. Honestly, move Nico Collins up this board if you think he's going to stay healthy. Brian Thomas Jr., another rookie. Now, rookie receiver heading into year 2 on the Jaguars. He's going to be very, very good. Will he be as good as some of these other guys? Are you picking a rookie? He's not a rookie anymore. Are you picking a year 2 receiver over A.J. Brown over some of these other guys? It's going to be tough. Now, BTJ, he will be someone that it's like the last quote-unquote best receiver off the board. You have Malik Neighbors, A.J. Brown, and Brian Thomas Jr. It's like a tier down. This is the second tier. BTJ, Malik Neighbors. Now, who's the Giants quarterback? That's going to be very important for where Malik Neighbors go. Then you have A.J. Brown right here. A.J. Brown, this could be good. If Saquon Barkley takes a step back, then you'd actually expect to see A.J. Brown take a step up and then have to pass the ball. But can you bet against Saquon Barkley when he just had 2,000 rushing yards? Probably not. Devon Achane at 202. If you get Devon Achane this late in your draft, his efficiency is like Hall of Fame worthy. So as long as he gets the opportunities, with Raheem Mostert getting older, Jalen Wright wasn't necessarily a factor. Devon Achane, now Tyreek Hill might leave. Tyreek Hill wants out, so that's a bit concerning for his opportunities. Maybe he gets a higher target share, though, and Tua Tagovailoa is always hurt, so that's a bit concerning. But Devon Achane has been very, very efficient, boys. And if you can get Devon Achane, look, the running backs, they go off the board. Like, would I rather have Derrick Henry or Devon Achane? Well, Achane is younger. I'd rather have Achane. I'm not going to lie. So this could be a bit of a discount. Now, moving on, we got Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was getting a lot of red zone opportunities with the Packers, and the Packers are a good offense. I like it. Bucky Irving. If Rachaad White is still there, he's going to be a bit of a pest. I'm not a big fan of this, but I think it's a bit early for Bucky Irving, but he is going to be a solid fantasy football option. The second tight end off the board is Trey McBride in round 2. I don't love this. Personally, I wouldn't be too happy getting Trey McBride. I always like waiting later for round 4, round 5, round 6 for a good tight end. But this is kind of where he's trending. Ashton Jenney. Now, depending on where this boy gets drafted, his draft stock can rise or it can fall. If he goes to the Cowboys, I just don't like it, man. Like, name another rookie running back that kind of had this hype. And did he perform well? Did he not perform well? You have to assume he's going to have a large target share, a large volume share of that backfield. But Rico Dowdle will be a pest, even if Jenney goes to the Cowboys. So, I'm not sure how many snaps he can get. And a round 2 guy, you want them to perform immediately. Now, yes, he could be a league winner the second half of the season, but it seems risky to me, man. CMC at number 8, talk about risky. The fact he's going middle of round 2, high risk, high reward. This guy, if he's healthy, he will be a league winner. Or he'll be a league loser. So, he was a league winner, league loser this year. We all know which one he was, a league loser. Kyren Williams at number 9. This is another pretty solid pick right here. Similar to Devon Achane. This guy just scores touchdowns. Williams and Devon Achane, both of these guys round 2. Kyren Williams is kind of the discounted version where he's not as good in the ground game, but he's a good pass catcher, and he always gets those red zone touches. Now, Blake Corum. Is Blake Corum going to be a pest? Will they use Blake Corum a bit more? I don't trust Sean McVay with running backs ever since what he did with Cam Akers. Breece Hall at the number 10. This could be a bounce-back season for Breece Hall in 2025. Chase Brown. Let's see what the Bengals do with running back position in the draft. Zach Moss might be back from injury. I don't know. Will the Bengals make a significant RB addition? Chase Brown was averaging 20 points a game, so this could be a good draft pick. Now, this might be a league winner. If Jonathan Taylor is available to you beginning of round 3, end of round 2, you're going to want to go ahead and pick him up. I bet Jonathan Taylor ends up somewhere around 205, as we head on throughout the closer to the season and when we start drafting. T. Higgins, round 3, pick 1. He's going to be a lead receiver somewhere. It really depends where. If he goes to the Patriots, comment down below what round are you picking T. Higgins in. James Cook is the 302. Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami, and he's old. This is a risky type pick. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like this Tyreek Hill. But now, Tyreek Hill was going round 1 last season. Now that he's round 3, you get a discount. It reminds me of Cooper Kupp. People drafted Cooper Kupp round 3, about around round 3 for 2024, and it didn't really work out. So this has like the same subliminal messaging to me, in my opinion. Now we have our first quarterback, Josh Allen. Looks like he's going round 3, and depending on dumb league mates, always push quarterbacks up the board. So Josh Allen might go even earlier than round 3. Mike Evans. Mike Evans is old, but he's aging like fine wine. He guarantees 1,000-yard seasons. When will that streak end? Who knows? Then we got another quarterback, Lamar Jackson. We got Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had a great season. Kamara has never had a 1,000-yard rushing season, but he averages 8 receptions per game. As long as he's not going to be injured, banged up, or an artifact, age 30 season, again, younger than Derrick Henry, and they just gave him a 2 or 3 year extension. Kamara at the 308 in PPR, full PPR, move him up to end of round 2, man. Kamara is going to be a good pick. Joe Mixon, this is where he got drafted in 2024. He looked like he was kind of washed as the season went on. He started off very good, but he got washed. It's scary. Let's see how he does in the playoffs, and if the Texans invest in running backs at all. If the Texans don't invest in running back, then Joe Mixon might be somebody where if you go wide receivers round 1 and 2, you're kind of forced to pick him and hope he does well. Pretty similar with Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet was a pest. Kenneth Walker injured. It's tough. George Kittle at the 311. He was the number 1 tight end in fantasy football, along with Brock Bowers, just a little bit ahead. Now, George Kittle, it's tough, man. He's so old, and I drafted him in 2024, so I was happy. The problem is, every single week, like in 2023, he was injured, and he gets injured every single year. And even in 2024, while he wasn't injured, he missed like maybe one game. Every single week, he was like basically not practicing because he was maintenance, something was hurt. I'm scared that one of these injuries is going to sideline him in 2025. It's a scary pick. And at round 3, man, at beginning of round 4, you're not really getting that much of a discount. Pick at your own risk. Drake London, if he goes this late, this could be big, man. He had a big game with Michael Penix, and I think bright things are in Drake London's future. Ladd McConkey, round 4, this is a great steal. Chuba Hubbard, 402. With Jonathan Brooks back, how much are they going to be using Brooks as he recovers from the torn ACL he sustained? We'll have to see about that. He had another injury when Brooks came back, so I don't know if Brooks is even back. Jaden Daniels, round 4. Interesting. Jalen Hurts, round 4. So it looks like Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts are going to be high quarterbacks taken right after Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. We got McLaurin off the board, Tony Pollard. So for the people thinking you're going to pair Daniels and McLaurin, based on their current draft stock, it's going to be pretty hard unless you go, end of round 3, early round 4. You double up for those people playing underdog. George Pickens, is he going to have a bounce back season? He had a solid season, but he definitely got worse towards the end. Joe Burrow is a sleepy good quarterback, especially if you have 6-point passing touchdowns. I think Joe Burrow can be a good fantasy asset in 2025, especially, are the touchdowns going to regress? You might be saying that. As long as Jamar Chase is there, the answer is no, because T. Higgins was injured a good part of the season, so yes, it's going to be a bit of a hit, but Joe Burrow was already playing without T. Higgins for a lot of the games, and the Bengals defense sucks, which helps Joe Burrow in the fact that he has to kind of keep up with the other team's offense. Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Devontae Adams. Okay. Jordan Addison, David Montgomery, this is a bit high. This is a bit high in my opinion, especially after the injury, and I know he got the contract extension, but it's a bit too high. Now this is a very interesting player right here. I like this pick a lot. Isaiah Pacheco, I drafted him round 2 or 3 in 2024, and he started off the season good until that injury. I expect him to be fully back, and this will be a very good opportunity right here. Sam Laporta, he was very disappointing. We'll have to see how they use him in the playoffs. I could definitely see Laporta being a league winner in 2025. Mahomes falling, that's sad. Rashee Rice, torn LCL, and he has the suspension. So I think Rashee Rice might actually fall down boards even more. Jameson Williams, star season in 2024, could go higher than this, honestly. Cortland Sutton would be a good draft pick. Tyrone Tracy would be a good draft pick. And that is 5 rounds of rankings, boys. Comment down below. Who are you excited for? You know, if you see any of these names on this list that jump out to you, Isaiah Pacheco jumped out to me. Joe Burrow jumped out to me. A lot of names on this list jump out to me as good draft positions. Ladd McConkey could be a good draft pick. Mixon maybe. Kamara definitely. Comment down below who you got. Smash like and subscribe button. Let me know if you want more. Peace out. Thanks for watching.